Right, here's some tragic news coming in from Karnataka. Kannada actress Chethana Raj, 21-year-old, has died at a private hospital in Bengaluru where she was admitted just yesterday to undergo a fat-free plastic surgery. Known for her roles in daily soaps like Geeta and Doresani, she did not inform her parents, we believe, about this surgery and went along with her friends to the hospital. The actor later started facing some post-surgery complications as fluid began to accumulate inside her lungs. The actor's parents have accused the doctors of negligence, have lodged a complaint against the hospital authorities. Very tragic news of this girl, an actor, Kannada television star, who's unfortunately succumbed. We're looking at Chethana Raj, who's a soap artist, a Kannada TV star who's just succumbed after a plastic surgery went wrong. Very unfortunate news coming in. Let me cut across to Karthik joining us more on that. Karthik, Chethana Raj is a Kannada TV star and very unfortunate, barely 21-year-old. We see that she is quite an influencer on social media and she, without informing her parents, headed to a private clinic to carry out a fat-free plastic surgery and unfortunately succumbed. What really happened?
Well, Nabila, initial reports that what we are getting right now is that that the actress in question died last evening, and she was brought to a hospital called Cardia Hospital, and the doctors at the hospital say that when they brought her to the hospital, she had no pulse, and when they checked she did not have any pulse, and they also reported it. But she was escorted by a doctor named Dr. Melvin, and Dr. Melvin suggested that she has to be treated immediately at the hospital and barged into the hospital ICU. And initially, he said that it was for him that he had suffered cardiac arrest, but then later, he somehow persuaded the hospital doctors to treat her. And the doctors say that she was declared dead. She was already declared dead when she came, but that the doctor persuaded the hospital to declare her dead at around 6:45 p.m. Now the doctors have also asked the police station, the Basaveshnagar police station, to file a report on this incident, saying that she was that there's something fishy about it, and she died under abnormal circumstances. However, the parents of the actors are saying that they objected for a fat surgery and said that they also tried persuading her to not go ahead with the fat surgery, but she went ahead and did it so in a private setting, and certain complications had allegedly happened during the surgery, after which she suffered cardiac arrest and she was brought to a hospital where she has been declared dead.
Well, here from what we understand, she has not informed her parents. Karthik, how true is that? And give us, help us understand the pressure that this girl was possibly going through. What was the need for a plastic surgery for a 21-year-old? Would you believe that she consulted with certain doctors? She was asked or coerced to carry out this fat-free surgery? Was there any angle of her being forced into looking a certain way?
But yes, certainly, Nabila. The reports that we are getting right now suggest that she went to different hospitals and she went on asking them about a fat loss surgery. But it is being said that one hospital, the Cardia Hospital in Bengaluru at Manjunath Nagar, told her that that she was not ready for the surgery, and a surgery would certainly lead to a lot of health complications. And so she had approached another hospital for the surgery, and she went ahead with it without informing her parents, is what we're hearing right now. But on the other hand, the parents suggest that it was the hospital's negligence, that the hospital went ahead and did the surgery for her despite knowing the kind of risk that was involved. And it was the surgery that resulted in her death.
And we know that now the parents have filed a criminal case against the hospital for negligence. But yet, do stay with us, Karthik. I'm going to quickly cut across to Akshata Nandagopal, who's joining us right from the newsroom for a little more on that. Akshata, very tragic news, but no surprises. A 21-year-old goes to a private clinic, which is not reputed, tries a plastic surgery, a fat-free plastic surgery. We've seldom heard of something like that. But she's barely 21. And she did not take consultation, did not, of course, confide to her parents about this surgery she was going through, and finally succumbed at that private hospital.
Truly tragic, Nabila. This is a 21-year-old actor, as you pointed out, and clearly there was a lack of informed opinion here. She chose to go to a private clinic, accompanied reportedly by her friends. So as you mentioned, her family had no clue. The information we've picked up is that she went for a liposuction procedure, which is relatively common, something that a lot of people undergo, particularly in renowned clinics. Now, there will be questions about how Chethana chose to go about this, what kind of references, what kind of clinical opinion did she take before doing this. But we have a form in which she's also signed, which refers clearly to the fact that she gave her consent for a liposuction procedure. Unfortunately, it looks like right after the procedure, there were complications that were reported. What we're hearing is that there were post-surgery complications. Fluid began to accumulate in her lungs, and tragically, she passed away due to a cardiac arrest. There's a bit of back and forth on exactly what transpired and where it happened, because the information we're picking up, and it's a bit sketchy, so I want to give that particular caveat to our viewers right now. There's a bit of a blame game between two clinics that's happening right now, one private clinic and a hospital in Bengaluru, because reportedly, Nabila, Chethana had undergone this procedure in a clinic, and then when the complications began to surface, when she reportedly suffered a cardiac arrest, according to this hospital in the city, she was then brought in by a doctor. They attempted to give emergency care to her, but they tried to resuscitate her. Unfortunately, none of that yielded any results. She was completely unresponsive. The family of Chethana currently, obviously they are heartbroken over what's played out. They're claiming that this was negligence by the hospital, which is what's perhaps led to this back and forth between this hospital and a private clinic. But whatever said and done, this is truly tragic, and lessons to learn for so many people out there to always take informed clinical opinions before going through any sort of procedure of this sort.
Akshita, this is certainly tragic and something to take a cue from. We're looking at a good number of youngsters today without taking a proper medical opinion, rushing to get surgeries done to try and reform themselves or transform themselves to a certain set of image that they want to conform to. Let me cut across to Negligence36, who's a film producer. Negligence, we know that there is some kind of pressure usually on youngsters, particularly women, to look a certain way in the film industry. But we know Kannada film industry as such, or even the Kannada TV industry, isn't amounting that kind of pressure on their stars. But Chethana Raj, who is one of those soap artists within the Kannada industry, was somehow, she felt that she wanted to carry out liposuction, wanted to lose some weight, went for a plastic surgery, eventually had a fatal end. Do you know of Chethana Raj, and what do you know of this particular case, and how is the industry reacting to it?
Yeah, Nabila, absolutely. Whatever you said is absolutely right. There's a huge kind of challenges and, of course, competition and pressure, especially from the social media and as well as the industry in itself. So Chethana Raj was an upcoming actress, TV actress, and she was in fact going on to do some films as well. But I feel very sad about this, very tragic about it, but that because of the liposuction, as you said, before the medical examination, even after medical examination, a lot of people have died. In fact, my friend Vivek Shok, who is a Bollywood actor, who has acted with Akshay Kumar and a lot of other people, he went into this liposuction and he had a weak heart. And even when you go into a medical examination, you won't know about the weak heart, how weak it is or how strong it is. So absolutely, he died that night itself, the day of the operation. So 3 liters of fat was removed from Chethana Raj, and she passed away. It's you can't even say about the negligence of the doctor, but you'll have to blame the challenges faced in the industry as well as in today's social media, the pressure to lose weight, to look good, to look thin, and of course the debate will start about the zero figure again. A lot of pressure.
But you know, Indrajit, you say 3 liters of fat was taken out of her. Is that true?
Yeah,
this is shocking.
3 liters of fat was taken out. That's what Chethana Raj's father is telling the media and as well as me, that 3 liters of fat was taken from her body without proper examination or without proper consultation. And it's very sad. That's the reason why I'm saying so much of pressure you are in to lose weight, to look good in front of the camera. It's just because you lose weight, of course from the social media as well, that every photo or every reel you post you'll have challenges of looking good and looking thin, and the comments what you get. So these are the reasons why today the actresses, especially when they come in front of the camera, they face all these challenges. That has to be passed across to the younger generation, that you don't need to lose weight to look good, to feel good, and you'll have to act well, you'll have to perform well. That's more important than losing weight and looking thin and facing the pressures of social media.
You know, Indrajit, this is absolutely shocking, but you say that you've spoken to the parents of Chethana. How are they reacting to this? We know they filed an FIR, a police complaint saying that this was an absolute mistake of the hospital. They tried to mislead her and carried out this surgery. She hadn't informed her parents. How are they receiving this news?
That's what, Nabila, it's very shocking. Can you imagine 3 liters of fat being removed from her body, as per her father's saying today? It's very shocking, very shocking, because 3 liters of fat is equal to around 4 to 5 kgs of weight removed from our body instantly. That's what happened to my friend Vivek Shok, who had worked with. He went into lipo and absolutely he went into coma and he died overnight. So a lot of people, whoever is going into this operation, please consult the qualified doctors, and before that, you don't have to lose weight to look good. You'll have to perform well and feel good. That's more important.
You know, Indrajit, you are a film producer yourself. Can you particularly tell us within the Kannada film industry, because we know various other film industries, like, for example, you know, actually not particularly mentioning any industry as such or singling out any industry, but film industry on the whole, world over, has a certain kind of image of a perfect woman. At least that's what's portrayed in cinema extensively. And women try to, at least those stars who are wanting to land a role in big budget films, in reputed producers' movies, end up doing all sorts of things to try and fit in that role, to fit in that perfect image. In Kannada film industry particularly, how bad is it? Especially in the television industry. We know that television industry in Karnataka is currently booming. You have great viewership right now. Women there desperately trying to find a spot in on television when it comes to the Kannada industry. Is the pressure real?
Of course, Nabila, there's a lot of pressure from the TV industry in Kannada. As you said, the TV industry is booming in Kannada and, of course, in regional cinema. But I personally know a lot of actresses who have gone through this under the knife, who have gone through liposuction and another word called bariatric or bariatric surgery, where they lose weight when they kind of cut down this intestine. So they lose a lot of weight because of that. A lot of actresses have gone under the knife for this. I know, in fact. And, of course, they have survived, and some of them have gone into, like, a lot of complicated issues as well. But I've seen the actresses who have gone through this have put on weight again. So it's I don't know why you have to go under the knife for this. You'll have to work out, and you'll have to be fit. That's more important than going under the knife and trying surgeries like this. And end of the day, as you said, there's a lot of pressure from the TV industry. They are working 24/7. They're under lack of sleep, and the competition is high.
Yeah, I was just getting to that. The competition is high, you say. How is the competition like within the Kannada film industry? What is the competition like? We know, cinema aside, sandalwood aside, the TV industry is really sought after. Particularly, you have entertainment channels right now roping in a lot of young women who look fit, who look great, who have a social media following, and they're supposed to be looking a certain way. Do you think the competition within the TV industry is so real that you have young kids, I could call her a kid, 21-year-old, who heads to a plastic surgeon to try and get herself slim, to literally take off fat from her body? What's the competition really like within the Kannada TV industry?
Yeah, as you said, the competition is a catch-22 situation. First, you try to lose weight, you go under the knife, get the numbers on the Insta or the social media, and then you're directly selected into music videos or TV or web series. And if you kind of don't look good, or if you don't lose weight according to the competition or the challenges or the role, somebody else will take your place. And by that time, you are used to some kind of a lifestyle. And you'll have to kind of be in the rat race. And that's what is happening even in the regional cinema and the television as well. The television actresses especially, they don't even have the time to work out because they are working 24/7. They're 2 shifts, 3 shifts. 3-4 episodes being shot every day. So they're under pressure. So there's no time to work out. So this is an easier way to lose weight for them. So it's kind of lose weight, get the numbers on your social media, and you're directly selected. Of course, as you know, the more the numbers in the social media, you get more preference as a main lead, or your pay also depends on your following in the social media. So this is the problem with the actresses today, that they don't have the time to work out because they are working around the clock, and this is a very, very easy way to lose weight and look good.
All right, Indrajit, you know, this is very tragic news, and we know that the film industry certainly has been taken aback after this death of a 21-year-old has surfaced. Chethana Raj is a television star in the Kannada film industry. She had a fair amount of social media following. Unfortunately, as per industry insiders, we heard Indrajit say that close to 3 liters of fat was taken out of her, and eventually it turned into quite a complication, this surgery, where we believe water was found in her lungs before she died of this plastic surgery. Again, investigation is underway. Their parents, of course, blaming the doctors for gross negligence, for misleading this girl, Chethana Raj, to carry out a plastic surgery when she couldn't. We believe that she's hopped on to one doctor, one clinic to the other to finally get admitted to one private clinic which agreed to do a surgery on her. She tried with different doctors, but eventually got consent with one. Unfortunately, that was her last. Karthik, of course, joining us. He's tracking those developments of Chethana Raj. All right, we're going to try and patch Karthik yet again, but here's a Kannada actor. Unfortunately, Chethana Raj, 21-year-old, a very popular social media face. She's part of the Kannada TV industry, and she's unfortunately succumbed after she carried out a plastic surgery without the permission of her parents. I mean, not permission, but she did not even confide or inform her parents about this surgery that she was going through. But nonetheless, she did sign a no objection form, which it appears now that the clinic could very well hold against the FIR that's been slapped against them. The parents have slapped an FIR on the plastic surgery, on the doctors who run that clinic, who's carried out the plastic surgery on this girl. But they've, of course, given this form. They've shown the form to the parents where she has declared that she's given her complete consent on that form with a signature, which now it appears that the clinic could very well hold against that FIR to claim innocence. But this is a 21-year-old girl, young girl, Chethana Raj, unfortunately, who's passed away after undergoing a plastic surgery at a private hospital in Bengaluru. She, in fact, was admitted to the hospital just yesterday on the 16th of May in the morning, underwent this fat-free plastic surgery, where we believe, as per industry insiders, we heard Indrajit say that at least 3 liters of fat was taken out of her. That's a huge amount of fat to be pulled out of a girl who already looks fairly in quite a shape. She seems quite fit. 3 liters of fat that's been taken out of her. Eventually, unfortunately, faced quite some complications by the evening. The surgery began in the morning. By the end of the day, we believe that she started to face complications. Water started accumulating in her lungs. Eventually, we believe she passed away. Her parents, of course, rushing to the hospital, believe that the hospital tried to mislead her, and eventually she succumbed. Now, this is liposuction, which has gone horribly wrong. Now, what exactly went wrong during this plastic surgery, that remains to be seen, but this is indeed shocking to say the least. According to the latest reports, we believe that Chethana's parents have now filed an FIR. They're currently claiming that it was entirely the doctor's negligence that led to this untimely death of Chethana Raj. In fact, she has been part of the TV industry. She has a huge social media following. And yet it appears that she wanted to conform to a certain image of perfection. She wanted to go through liposuction to pull out fat from her body surgically. Here we see several cases where models, actors are just those wanting to look a certain way, wanting to look perfect, skinny, go through these surgeries of liposuction to pull out fat. A lot of these surgeries usually don't end up the way you've planned. And here is one classic example. A soap star, Chethana Raj from Karnataka, 21-year-old, barely 21-year-old, had these really flawed ideas of perfection. She wanted to fit into this certain image where she carried out, she literally went in search of a doctor who would admit her and carry out a plastic surgery on her, do liposuction on her. We believe that she visited a couple of doctors. They refused to do plastic surgery on this 21-year-old girl. Eventually, she found a private clinic in Bengaluru and then went ahead with this surgery, gave her consent, signed a form, did not inform her parents. And unfortunately, that surgery that began in the morning, by the evening, we believe that severe complications arose and water accumulated in her lungs, eventually her succumbing to this plastic surgery. Chethana's parents have now filed a case. They're pursuing an FIR against the doctors for allegedly misleading her. All right, we're going to continue tracking those details on the other side of a short break. For more details, you could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Stay tuned. I'm going to come back with the top headlines.